Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Hello and welcome into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host tonight, Cassidy. The Buccos have now dropped 6 straight and 9 of their last 10. Just continue that losing streak and keeping it rolling. I'm joined alongside tonight, Andrew Fillipponi. Hey, Pony, just your first impressions on this outing tonight.
Well, you're supposed to have a stopper in Paul Skenes, and he's supposed to be the guy that ends losing streaks. 5 in a row coming in, last place, 10 games out, entering tonight's action. And, you know, Paul, for the most part, was brilliant. Now, he ran out of gas, and Burleson for St. Louis has had his number historically, and costly walks. He had 4 again today. He had 4 in his first half dozen starts of the year, and now he's had 8 in his last 2. So his control has not been as pinpoint as it was to start the year. And, 2 runs should be enough. You know, Paul Skenes is really, for me, when he's on his game, the best pitcher in baseball. But when he gives up 2, you should find a way to to scratch out 3 runs. And it was not like they were facing another ace pitcher tonight. Liberator's been good for the Cardinals, not great. And it just speaks volumes about the ineptitude of the Pirates lineup right now, where Skenes was good, not great, and they were not able to give him any run support. And they haven't been able to give him any run support, Cassidy, in his career starts against the Cardinals to this point.
Yeah, and a lot of people upset about, Key Brian Hayes batting cleanup today. He ends up batting in the only run for the Buccos. And, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Obviously, Skenes' last outing, he gives up 3 home runs to the Cubs. I mean, would you consider this kind of a bounce-back game for him? Or, I mean, do you think he's still kind of struggling a little bit right now?
Well, he's not the guy he was last year. The run environment in Major League Baseball is, early on, it's been much more pitcher-dominated than hitter-friendly. You look at the ERAs of pitchers, so many under 2. So many guys that are, for the most part, middle-of-the-pack journeyman pitchers have been elite pitchers through the first month plus of the season. So if you just go by that measure, Paul Skenes has been kind of a B-plus pitcher this year, and I thought that's what his start was again tonight because of the way it ended for him and because of the control issues. Really good, but my expectation for him was to be the Cy Young. And if you were to hand out a Cy Young award right now at about the quarter point of the season, he would not win it. He would not really even be in the conversation for me. The strikeouts are way down. Better tonight. I think he had 6, but still not really the guy that we thought would be a double-digit strikeout per game guy or just blowing away major league hitters. So he's not the reason why they lost. Far from it. Again, it's the bats going quiet, but I'm still waiting for Paul Skenes. He did it in L.A. His 2 starts ago was excellent, but those starts have been fewer and far between for him so far this season.
Yeah, you mentioned the hitting, has struggled. O'Neal Cruz kind of, the one exciting thing that's with this offense right now. He had 14 stolen bases. I think he was on track, had the most stolen bases in the league, but then yesterday got thrown out at second, so snapped that streak. But he did steal another one today. He's now at 15. I'm pretty sure that's the most in Major League Baseball. And that's kind of, what's exciting right now, the exciting thing to look at. I mean, when that's pretty much the only thing, you can get excited about when it comes to an offense, what can fans look forward to when they turn on a Buccos game at this point?
Well, Skenes and Cruz have been, Skenes, I think, falls short of being an all-star right now. I think Cruz is absolutely one. I think he's been the Pirates' MVP so far this season because of the power, the 8 home runs, the great stolen base record up until that game you mentioned last night. And look, his center field defense, I think, has gotten better as the season has gone on. The play he made last night in center field, throwing a guy out. But beyond that, I mean, Brian Reynolds has gotten off to an awful start. I would say Andrew McCutchen's the only other guy who's really played like an above-average hitter this year. Guys have maybe played above expectations, but McCutchen's the only guy who I think has exceeded, what you would expect from a league average hitter. Joey Bart's hit for a high average, but has hit for no power whatsoever, has just 1 home run. Valdez has driven in some runs, but, he's hitting for a very low batting average, and honestly, he should be more of a bench guy than an everyday player. Hayes, again, has struggled this year. Sawinski got sent down to the minor leagues. Gonzalez got hurt. Henry Davis is hitting $140. IKF now is on the injured list. I mean, we could go on and on here, talking circles about it. They are literally one of the worst offenses in all of baseball. And the sad part about it is, Cassidy, there's like no help coming from the minor leagues. Their best hitting prospects are way down in their minor league levels and not guys that can come up and make an immediate impact right now.
I mean, you mentioned Nick Gonzalez. He's obviously been injured for a while, but it's looking like he could maybe make a return here pretty soon. Do you think that adds anything to this offense?
Well, it does, because Adam Frazier is, at this point, a bench player and a journeyman and not the guy he was 5 years ago when he was an all-star and a guy that hit for a high average for the Pirates. So he'll be an improvement there. But Nick Gonzalez is not, he's not to me, he's not an established, everyday, middle-of-the-lineup hitter. He drove in runs last year. OPS was below league average. I mean, he's just a guy. I mean, not someone that you should have used a top 10 pick on. I like Nick, but he's not a guy that's going to carry your offense. Spencer Horwitz is still a wild card. He's at AAA now. The numbers at AA were not very good last I checked. So he's on the comeback trail, but I don't picture him as someone that's going to be a big difference maker, because he's a guy that hits singles and doubles. He doesn't hit home runs. And I'd like for my first baseman to hit for more power than he does. And so, yeah, I mean, this looked like one of the league's worst offenses when last season ended. And so far through 37 games, this team has done nothing to tell us that they're any better. In fact, they've shown us that they're worse.
Yeah, agree with you there. All right, guys, we're going to take our first break. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We want to hear from you. All right, welcome back. This is your Xfinity Mobile tweet of the night, Stat News Baseball. Paul Skenes in his 8th start of the year. There is stats from tonight, his 6th start, allowing multiple runs this year. He had 9 starts in 23 appearances last year, so not quite on pace as last year. I know this is all doom and gloom right now. There was some exciting baseball, though, here in Pittsburgh. I want to shout out those Pitt Panthers taking down number 12 ranked WVU tonight in the 9th inning. Electric game. I was only able to watch the end of it, but just shout out the Panthers. They were 3 games above 500 going into that game. So to take down WVU like that, they lost to them, I think, 11-1 a month ago. So big win for the Pitt Panthers, and congratulations to them. But switching back to the Pirates, we have a lot of people calling in right now. So let's go ahead and get to those phone lines. I have a feeling I know what you guys want to talk about. All right, Bill in New Stanton. Bill, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I've been watching baseball so long. When I was a kid, we had 3 teams in New York City. I was, and this is kind of an off-the-wall question, the only constant in this 30-some-odd year futility of Pirate baseball is Greg Brown. And I'm just kind of curious, how does he do it? How does he keep up with all? Has anybody ever asked him how he, is able to handle all this losing? I mean, I saw something. I think the team that he covered is the losingest in Major League history.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to cover teams that lose. What do you think about that, Pony?
Well, before that, Greg worked in Buffalo and was part of the Bills broadcast team when they lost those 4 Super Bowls. So Greg's had some bad luck, unfortunately. He's been doing it a while. He's one of baseball's premier play-by-play guys. And it's a great question. I mean, it would really wear on me. It would drag me down watching the team lose year in and year out. And this year's different because, when you start rebuilding, you expect it. You think you're going to take your lumps, you're going to lose games. But in the long run, it's going to be worth it. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And so this is year 6 of this rebuild, and it seems like they are getting worse. It's not seems, they are getting worse. This organization has taken a big step backwards this year. And they're pitching even. We'll see when Bubba Chandler comes up and when Jared Jones gets healthy, if they can pitch their way to victories. But by then, I think the hole they've dug themselves will be too deep. So I expect this team at this point to win 70 games tops at the very most this season. And that would be a step backwards from last year when they won 76 games.
Yeah. All right, let's go to John in Moon Township. John wants to talk some Skenes.
Hey, good evening. Great show. I'm just thinking about Paul Skenes. I remember him from last year. He seems different this year. He seems almost distracted, not as focused. Now, I'm just wondering, is he truly thinking about his future with the Pirates, with Bob Nutting? He's got to be thinking about, where am I headed to with this team? What am I going to do in my future with this team or somewhere else? I just think if you're on that mound, you've got to be 110% focused. He doesn't seem focused this year, and I'm just wondering if he's just thinking about his future.
I mean, John, you bring up a great point. He could very well be doing that. I would argue, though, that he would want to go out and have a solid performance on the mound so that if and when he does get traded, it's for a lump sum and not, scattered pieces. But look, he said it time and time again, he wants to win, and he wants to win here in Pittsburgh. He does. It's just unfortunate they can't get the offensive pieces around him to find success here.
Well, I don't think Paul's thinking about down the road yet. I could be wrong. I think he is so singularly focused on trying to be the best pitcher in the league and be the best version of himself that I don't think yet that kind of cynicism has crept into him. I know obviously fans project that on him because they think if they were in his shoes, that's how they would view it. And I understand that because Pirates fans carry around scars from all the times they were burned and hurt by this team. But Paul's been here now for about a year. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he isn't pleased with everything that's gone on around him. But I don't think it's to the point where it's bleeding into and affecting the way he pitches. Now, he's not pitched as well. I think he's experimenting still with his new pitches. And I think that that's hurt him so far this year. He believes in the big picture, in the macro, it's going to make him a better pitcher. We'll see. But I think that has taken away from the greatness of Paul Skenes last year, is that now he's trying to tinker with things, and that's allowed for him, I think, to become a more mortal pitcher because those pitches he's working on were not as good as his dominant stuff last year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, especially because we've heard time and time again just how almost robotic he is during a game, and it would take a lot, I think, for him to be thinking about anything outside of what's actually happening in that game at that moment. So I definitely agree with you there. All right, Ed in Peters Township. Ed wants to talk some Pirates.
Yep. Hey, my deal is we've been watching the Pittsburgh Pirates lose for 30 years. And as long as Nutting or a Nutting family member is the owner, we're never going to see a winning, competing team on this field.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. It sounds like the same calls we've been getting for a couple weeks now, but it is unfortunate because not only too is it a bad product that's on the field, but they're having PR nightmares too, which is never good. So it's just all in all been a tough start to the season. There's no other way to say it. All right, John Castle Shannon. Yeah. John in Castle Shannon. John wants to talk some Pirates.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Tony, you're right. You're absolutely right, my main man. You're my main guy. I believe that it's time to say all the fans stop going to the games until there's a big change. What do you think?
Oh, calling for all fans to just not show up anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would do anything, to be honest. I've thought about it. I've thought about, the Oakland A's did something similar, the opposite of that, where everybody came to get, the game to show the owners how much fans actually care about the team. I just don't know if that ever has a real effect on the situation. I mean, the A's ended up moving. I don't see whatever the fans do. I don't see it impacting Nutting or ownership decisions whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I think that fans could incite the owner to make changes as far as the GM and manager go. I mean, I think the paying customers, through the way they conduct themselves at games and maybe stay away from games, could send signals to the owner to make those changes maybe sooner than he wants to, because just, they're hemorrhaging money. They're not making as much money because the fans are just so discontent and so angry with the product. But I don't think it's to the point where, it would lead to a selling of the team or anything like that. I don't think that the owner is in any way, not committed to trying to stay here and keep the team here or whatever. Like, I don't think that that's really on the docket at all. I could be wrong. But I do think I do think that he could be influenced by fans if it looks really bleak at PNC Park, if it doesn't turn into a destination for fans this summer, and the owner thinks that firing people might get fans to buy back in and have some hope in this team again.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw that Skenes Day here in Pittsburgh. I mean, fans want baseball to be solid and back in their city. I mean, they were all down the Roberto Clemente Bridge all the way down Fort Duquesne. It was crazy, the outpouring of support for Skenes. So people will show out if they put a good product out onto the field. They just, need to do that. All right, guys, we're going to head to our last break. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. Let's talk some Steelers after this. We got rookie minicamp this weekend. Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. It's time now to check in with the news desk and see what they have coming up at 11. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Cass. Tonight we have shocking new video from the stands showing the moment a fan fell more than 20 feet to the field at PNC Park. Plus, Penn State faculty pushing back on plans to close up to a dozen campuses, and why some neighbors in Squirrel Hill say it could take a court order for them to get their power back on. All coming up right here at 11. Cassidy.
All right. Thank you, Ken. Well, guys, something a little more exciting to talk about this weekend. Steelers rookie minicamp, our first chance to really see all of these draft picks here in Pittsburgh over on the south side. I was pretty excited with how the Steelers drafted this year, Pony. I mean, I really didn't have from day one, I wanted them to go with Derek Harmon. I know they were looking at a couple other linemen, D linemen, but I really, really liked Derek Harmon and what he brought, and then you couple that with his story and everything he brings as a person and character as well, and it's just so impressive. So definitely liked him as that first-round pick. Caleb Johnson, I think he's going to be great in that running back room. Obviously, we needed to add something after Najee went to LA. So, I mean, how do you grade this whole draft class? A lot of excitement around Will Howard now, too. So just what do you think about this draft class, and who are you most excited to see this weekend?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'll go with Howard, even though he's a sixth-round pick, because I do think there's potential there. We saw him win a national championship. He got better in the biggest games, and I want to see if there's a carryover now into his pro career. And we obviously know the Steelers are looking for a future starting quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see how he's going to do, too. And we got Jack Sawyer, too. You can never go wrong drafting, two college teammates. So really pumped to see how these guys are going to perform this weekend. We'll have some coverage for you guys on that right here on KDKA. Pony, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Guys, thank you for watching. Same place, same time, every night right here on KDKA Plus at 10:35. See you next time.